Patriots pulling up, ain't gonna stop. Hide if you want, cause it's ready or not. We the whole gang and we up on your block. Got the red dot on you, now take the shot. 2-8 don't face me, now I got my slide. We hunting down snakes, we aim for the hide. Try to jab me, I don't care what you say, cause the people are here and we win either way. Hey yo, shout out to the truckers who be honking on the road, blocking off the bridge even when the weather's cold. Missing out on money, but to them it do not matter. Fighting for their freedom is the reason that they gather. All over the world, anywhere that you can fathom. Ottawa to Paris, another on our terrace, Canberra to Vienna. Run up a comparison, Trudeau can't stand him, then he try to ban him. Call up an emergency and do it with some urgency and call up the city police to take away the liberties. But our numbers going strong, you know we never stand alone. We taking back a rest, you better take the story on your phone. Then we go to States, put the stick up on my plane. Ain't gonna show a vax for it, you don't wanna ask for it. Then I'll call the truckers and we call it 18-wheeler force. Block it now and no remorse. Australia to hit the source, they calling for the power so that they can come to take your body, your life, to end your mortal strife. Take away the guns, then take away the funds. Hacking at the fundraisers so we know the hell awaits. And really think they're gonna stop it, but they'll never make a profit. No more water in the faucet, cause the workers don't deposit for the timers doing violence. Rebels got it moving silence, till it's time to make it loud. On the streets and in the cloud, get banned, stand up, you know we gotta man up. I ain't gonna little timer try to lock us up. Say we gotta wear a mask while they party in the club. Vax that thing up, or I cannot buy us up. Think the politicians for getting new pay, they pay stub. It's only been a couple years, you know that we are fed up. Truck Trudeau in the same go for Joe. And if you try to lock me down again, then I'ma let it blow. If you try to push the vaccine, I'ma say no. If you think that you're safe, we better run up in your place. We done with the games, we done with the snakes. You better be scared, we'll do what it takes. Patriots pulling up, ain't gonna stop. Hide if you want, cause it's ready or not. We the whole gang and we up on your block. Got the red dot on you, now take the shot.
I won't take the vax, no. Fauci is a backhole. Why you even rap, bro? If you ain't spitting facts, though. Fire like the Bascos. I'll check the swag, bro. Then trust anyone on news and a lab coat bars. Why they always grifting for the black votes? TikTok pop star, swear it's all an act, bro. Now they want the truckers in the prison cause they mad, so I'ma make a song that made their next turn. Lassos. Call me rap cowboy. Even as a little DC, I was a loud boy. Spitting racist jokes in the class like a proud boy. Okay, who you kidding? I'm a Gavin that's McGinnis when I'm rapping like a tabloid. 9/11 inside job. Michelle's got a real big schlong. Probably like 10-inch long. They probably wanna end this song, but we ain't gonna end this song. No, McDonald's fries kill more people than Corona did. Masked up class suffocating all the COVID kids. Let me take a breath. They're praying on the death. I blame it on the left. Taking who you rep. Jesus Christ is the set. I can see that they upset. Gays go to hell. Why? Cause they have anal sex, that's why. Faggot.
Patriots pulling up, ain't gonna stop. Hide if you want, cause it's ready or not. We the whole gang and we up on your block. Got the red dot on you, now take the shot. Stay awake, not woke, I'm tuned in. Your point of view too far, need to zoom in. Ain't got no facts, you assuming. About to call them blue, the way you be cluing. Stay awake, not woke, I'm tuned in. Your point of view too far, need to zoom in. Ain't got no facts, you assuming. About to call them blue, the way you be cluing. Have we had enough of your lies for one night? Have we felt enough of our pain to know it's real? How do you feel? Sick and tired of the lies, all I'm feeling is the pain. It's the devil in disguise while I'm standing in the rain. Water pouring from the sky, but you tell me the opposite. Like I don't have a consciousness, like I'm stuck in the matrix and my brain's up for the taking. But we don't do that, I know my facts. They say that he was elected, but where the stats at? They say that jab the only way to get your life back. But if you have a heart attack, then they will go to hide that. Look at the FDA, acting like KKK, trying to run all our lives like we they brand new slaves. Lose the job, bent from playing segregation, all the same. They call themselves progressives, but they taking us all back again. Bring the world to darkness and sacrifice the children then. When it's said and done, then you will never live with hope again. I say that we break the chains, we can't leave the world the same. Make love real again. As we fly above the truth, I ask of God, am I with you? I walk the path, go to the line, but still I feel that. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages from all across the world. You are now tuned into your favorite twice-weekly source for news, entertainment, politics, and the general go-around of what has happened in the last few days. The Chandler Brief. I'm your host, Chandler Crump, and welcome back to our YouTube, Rumble, Getter,
Twitch, and Facebook channels. Because yes, not only are we available on insert platform you're watching here, whether that be YouTube or Rumble or Getter, but we're also live on each other platform that you're currently not watching on. So big thank you, big shout out to everybody who's tuning in to us today. Nice to see Moonshadow, Aaron Behringer, I'm reading my own name here, Chandler Crump Live, Leron Edgar, sorry, not Edgar. Nice to see all y'all here. Welcome back. It has been a little while since our last show. As you guys know, we have our shows on Mondays and Fridays. However, we're going to be announcing a quick schedule change here. We'll now be having our Chandler Brief shows on Mondays and Wednesdays. But anyways, I was traveling and was traveling for a good portion of this week, so I didn't do any of our Tuesdays or Thursday shows or anything like that. We're back here this Friday to announce that we're going to be switching things up again. We'll have our shows Mondays at 3 and Wednesdays at 3, so keep that in mind for the future, but I wanted to bring this one to you guys as well. Since you guys have not seen me since Monday, I really have missed you guys, but it seems like the news cycle has not taken a pause while I was traveling and is getting right back on to its general insanity. So I see Kenny Kanthak in the chat, St. June, hello, I'm Kenny on Twitch. That's interesting. We never have Twitch people in here, so nice to see all y'all. Let's jump into these stories, or shall I say story, because we're just talking about one story for today that is going to be stretched this entire period. I kid you not, it is that big of a story. And when I read you this headline, you're going to be like, yeah, you know what, that'll do it. Oh, hold on, it is... I love when I have like a real dramatic moment where I'm like, oh yeah, let me pull the story up for you guys, and it's just a black screen. I gotta drop a laugh on myself for that one. All right, Joe Biden's disinformation board likened to Orwell's Ministry of Truth. Yes, after Elon Musk has taken control of Twitter, or has taken ownership, will soon be taking ownership of Twitter, and then soon even after that control, there's been a lot of people scared about the future of Twitter. Therefore, the Biden administration has stepped in to be like, all right, we're going to be the new arbiters of truth. Now, I have hinted at this before with the press secretary basically saying, if it didn't come from us, it isn't true. And she said that a few times over the last year and a half at this point. But now they're actually launching something within the Department of Homeland Security. So not only do they handle your Homeland Security, but they'll be handling your Homeland Truth, or shall I say, disinformation. Let's dig into this story, shall we? Conservative politicians and commentators are criticizing the Biden admin for creating a new bureau to fight the spread of disinformation online. Several of these critics have compared it unfavorably to the Ministry of Truth, a department in George Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984. On Wednesday, Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas testified during a budget hearing of the House Appropriations Subcommittee on Homeland Security that a disinformation governance board had recently been created to fight the spread of disinformation on the internet. During a Thursday press briefing, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledged the board's existence and noted that Joe Biden supported it. Psaki said she couldn't provide any details other than saying the bureau would monitor misinformation on topics such as COVID-19 and elections, which is so radically interesting to consider over the last few years in which we've had a lot to say about COVID-19 and elections, and I've suffered personally for my speech on COVID-19 and elections. I lost my entire previous YouTube channel because I talked about COVID-19 and elections, so it's great to see these people all coming together for their extremely important purpose, shall I say. Critics say the Bureau is another example of the government trying to police free speech on the internet. This has led to some comparisons to the Ministry of Truth. The protagonist of Orwell's classic, Winston Smith, works in the ministry, a governmental department that controls information coming from news, entertainment, and arts and education. Smith's role at the ministry is to correct historical records to align with the messaging of Big Brother, the leader/symbol of the novel's ruling totalitarian party. Of which it's clear to see Joe Biden is taking that stance of Big Brother, although I think even he has a Big Brother, and that Big Brother is, of course, Corn Pop, who was a very bad dude. No, but seriously, this is insane stuff that we are reading here. An actual article about the current American administration launching a disinformation board, which can not so far-fetchedly be compared, and very accurately, in fact, be compared to a Ministry of Truth. Once again, a Ministry of Truth. This is I see our boy Hello Kenny in the chat. It's just XD. This is stuff that you don't even want to laugh at, but you just have to because it's crazy. Moonshadow says this must be stopped. St. June is in the chat. He says, "Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see St. June in the chat." My people on Getter are chatting it up over there. Internationally recognized expert in information says hashtag libs of TikTok. Latest loony to join pedo corn poop. Zidane regime. Nicholas Chopper says Nina Janskowicz is Joseph Goebbels 2.0. We'll be getting into that. And Lundgren says, unbelievable how many demons they keep adding to the Biden admin. So true. So true. And also, my people over on Rumble, let's see if any of y'all have any chat messages to me. All right, cool. Once again, guys, don't forget, we are, of course, multi-streaming to Rumble. If you're watching on YouTube, it is only a matter of time before the Ministry of Truth strikes down this channel, so be sure you are subscribed and watching us over on Rumble as well if you have the chance to. Let's jump in and switch gears just a little bit, though, because I want to talk about how Biden specifically is being attacked for this. Biden has been blasted for policing free speech with dystopian disinformation bureau, so it's going to talk about what's happening. Biden came under fire Thursday for the creation of a dystopian disinformation bureau created under his Homeland Security Department, which critics are blasting as just a way for the government to police free speech online. Conservatives slammed the Department of Homeland Security's Orwellian new disinformation governance board with some suggesting that the timing is convenient given Elon Musk vowed to make Twitter a free speech haven after his billion-dollar takeover. And yes, that is many billions. Much money. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley called the new board a disgrace that was designed to monitor all American speech. In a letter to Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, Hawley said he initially thought Wednesday's announcement was satire. Surely no American administration would ever use the power of government to sit in judgment on the First Amendment speech of its own citizens. Sadly, I was mistaken. Rather than protecting our border or the American homeland, you have chosen to make policing American speech your priority. Florida Republican congressional candidate Willie Montague, who I have met, is a great guy, tweeted, "Is there anything more dystopian than a disinformation governance board run by the federal government?" And Texas GOP Congressman Troy Nehls griped, they didn't need a disinformation governance board until Elon Musk threatened their control over the narrative, over their disinformation, because, you know, right-wing people aren't the only ones that spread what they call disinformation, but Democrats spread the exact same stuff. And in their case, it's just as possible, just as likely to be disinformation as it is real information, whether it be about COVID or elections. Somebody's got to be right, and somebody's got to be spreading misinformation. You just don't know which one is which. Republican Congresswoman Laura Boebert accused Democrats of spending the last week planting the seeds for the backup plan in case the Twitter deal actually happened. She too called the news dystopian and said the left can't afford to let the truth be anything but what they say. Which is exactly what we were seeing, as we talked about earlier this week, with the dozens of people clamoring to quit Twitter as fast as they can, and the hundreds of thousands of conservatives that are now having their accounts unbanned and are flooding back in, as we can see with accounts like mine, but even more aptly so, I can't even think of there's so many, but other conservative accounts that have had hundreds of thousands of followers return to their accounts after these people were unbanned. Let's say after January 6th, when they banned hundreds of thousands, I think even maybe close to even a million or so users from the service simply for promoting dangerous conspiracy theories or whatever they wanted to say. These people are being let back on, and follower counts are growing like crazy. Now, I know after January 6th, my account lost 15,000 followers, somewhere between that range and a lot more. And it's just been downhill ever since. We've been slowly climbing our way back up, and even now, I'm still not even where I was before January 6th, and I can tell you, dozens of other accounts are at the same place, but are now finally starting to grow again, because these accounts are getting unbanned, the shadow bannings are starting to ease, and this is all before Elon Musk has even taken control of Twitter. So you can see why the federal government would get so scared and try to clamor their way back into controlling the narrative. Moon Shadow says, are they trying to push us into a civil war? I don't know. That's a good question. It really is. Let's jump in, though, because somebody who's had a very principled and loud position on this would be Ron DeSantis. But before we jump into that, I want to give a big thank you to Kenny Kathank, who sends $25 through the Cash App. So shout out to you. I haven't even talked about the Cash App yet, but big thank you to you. He sends $25. I'm going to add his name to the Hall of Heroes, but he says, for you, a true gangsta. So big thank you to Kenny. I'm going to add your name up here real quick, and then we'll jump into the next story. But of course, big shout out to him. I haven't even gotten to play our fancy little ad yet, so I'll hold off on that for a little bit. Kenny K. I'll call you Kenny K. Big thank you to Kenny K, and he sends 25. So big thank you to Kenny K. Shout out to all of our previous Hall of Heroes and current Hall of Heroes like Kenny K. Let's jump into this next story, though, because this one is going to really bring you some great joy. A man we've been talking about so much lately, and I can understand why a lot of people support this man to be a very important figure in conservative politics in the near future. That would be Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. I know, he's a great guy. He truly is. Oh, awesome. He said, okay, he's the guy on Twitch as well. Okay, you're on Twitch and on YouTube. I see you. Yeah, Kenny, he said, what up? And now he's no problem, homie. Thank you, Kenny. Nice to see you on Twitch. Keep viewing me on Twitch. I like having our people on Twitch. Nice to see you, man. Anyways, let's jump into this. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he says he will take personal action against the Biden administration's new Ministry of Truth. Let's jump in and hear this, shall we? Although, let me make sure I'm not blasting your guys' ears out first.
But clearly, our entire principles that the country was founded on, you cannot have a ministry of truth in this country. And so let's get real here. Let's make sure that we're doing things to benefit Floridians and Americans, but we're not going to let Biden get away with this one. So we will be fighting back.
That's it right there. That's it. That's how you do it.
Got him.
But clearly,
so true coming from Ron DeSantis. He says they will not let the Biden administration, and here's actually an article about it so we can get a little bit deeper into this. You cannot have a Ministry of Truth in this country, says Ron DeSantis, and says that Biden will not get away with having a disinformation board. Kind of like, you know, that superhero talking about the villain. You will not get away with this, Joker. Catch me if you can, Batman. Or something like that. I don't know. I haven't seen many of the Batman stuff. But anyways, let's jump into this. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has joined the chorus of critics tearing into the Biden administration's new disinformation governance board, headed by a Russia expert who said Hunter Biden's laptop was a product of the Trump campaign. And we'll be talking about that part of the story in a bit. You cannot have a Ministry of Truth in this country. We're not going to let Biden get away with this one. So we will be fighting back. When you're not doing well, you have two options. You can try to do better, or you can try to silence your critics. The Biden administration is doing the latter. DeSantis led the uptick in fury as Senator Tom Cotton said he would introduce legislation to have the new disinformation board defunded, and a new video showed its head, Nina Jankowicz, singing about misinformation to the tune of the Mary Poppins song, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I haven't even seen that one, and I have a little bit about this. We'll jump into that one. Jankowicz, a self-described Russia expert, has questioned the authenticity of Hunter Biden's laptop, calling it a product of the Trump campaign, even though its contents have been verified. In March 2020, she also said on COVID restrictions, "Lock us down. People are not taking this seriously." Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious, she sings in the new video. By saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet, so disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a it's how you hide a little lie. When Rudy Giuliani shared bad intel from Ukraine, or when TikTok influencers said COVID can't cause pain, they're launching disinfo and really should take note and not support their lives with our wallet, voice, or vote. Oh, that's kind of funny. Jankowicz was brought on to lead the Department of Homeland Security's Disinformation Governance Board to combat, I cannot say this word anymore, disinformation related to national security. And she expressed concerns last week that Musk expanding free speech on social media would be bad for marginalized communities because the First Amendment is culturally biased or something. On Wednesday, Jankowicz defended her previous remarks, casting doubt on the validity of the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. A tweet Jankowicz sent in October 2020 has resurfaced and is making the rounds in conservative circles. Back on the laptop from hell, apparently, Biden notes 50 former NatSec officials and 5 former CIA heads that believe the laptop is a Russian influence op, she tweeted at the time. Well, shall we learn a little bit more about this lady who apparently has so much to say about this? Let's just see quickly what she's talking about.
Inconvenient for him stories that they're getting out there that he's calling fake news and now lashing out at platforms. I would never want to see our executive branch have that sort of power.
What now? You don't want to see the executive branch have the power to decide what is truth and what isn't? Well, Miss Nina, do I have a story for you? And we're going to jump back right into that after a few messages from our sponsors. Let's jump into this.
Hey freethinkers, Chandler here, and welcome to the brand new one-of-a-kind commercial break. Here on the Chandler Crump channel, we pride ourselves on straight-talking nature, adherence to facts, resistance to media programming, and a loyalty to the red, white, and blue. Above all, we bring it to you in a cheerful nature to package all the bad news and or occasional good news in a way that'll make you smile while you cry. Whether that crying be from laughter or sadness is up to you. Anyhow, through these efforts, I have come under fire from YouTube, Twitter, and the rest of the big tech giants alike. It is through these attacks that we've had to work even harder in order to persevere and continue to deliver the message. It is through this that I come to you humble viewers with a request. I know I've said it before countless times, and I probably will countless times more. This show is funded and supported independently by viewers like you. $1 or $100, one time or once a month. Everything goes towards supporting our ability to bring the show to you. These live shows are what I consider to be my job, and I only get paid on tips around here. So if you think I've done a good job or want to encourage me to do even better, then check out the description of this video and go to donorbox.org/support-Chandler. This is our donation processor and the one-stop shop to support all things Chandler. A donation here allows you to send support as well as a message. During live shows, I read your message out loud, and if it's a question, do my best to answer. If you choose to, you can even have your name appear on stream to flaunt that you support our show. This is of course the illustrious Hall of Heroes bar above me. Another path to the Hall of Heroes is of course Cash App. My Cash App code is $ChandlerCR and it's visible on every one of my streams. It works the exact same as DonorBox. However, if you wish to remain anonymous, leave a note in your donation stating your anonymity. DonorBox or Cash App aren't the only ways to support me, of course. You could join our Locals community as well. Locals is a platform that allows you to financially support your favorite creators on a one-time or monthly basis, as well as interact with others who have done the same. In this community, you can even gain access to exclusive content, early sneak peeks at music, and much, much more. Whatever you choose to do in regards to supporting me, I appreciate it 1000%. Thank you guys so much. Now, let's get back to the show.
So this lady legitimately believes that the government should not have the power to decide what is truth and what is not, right? Well, unfortunately, it appears she's about to be on the wrong side of history by her own standards. Seriously, I mean.
And that's why, the legislative process with our duly elected officials is really important. That sort of consultative rulemaking process.
Consultative rulemaking process. Well, let's jump into some other parts of the consultative rulemaking process. Because I think the court of public opinion is pretty dang important, right? Well, let me submit this evidence into the court of public opinion, right?
Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious.
Yeah, it's real. It really is real. This was on her TikTok. Recently, too. She only recently locked it down, but this TikTok is not that old.
It's how you hide a little lie, little lie. It's how you hide a little lie, little lie.
Okay, that's how she did it.
It's how you hide a little lie when Rudy Giuliani shared that intel from Ukraine. Or when TikTok influencers say COVID can cause pain. They're laundering disinfo and we really should take note and not support their lies with our wallet, voice, or vote.
Oh my
This is the point of the show. We're going to say we're kidding, we're making all of this up. It's not really happening in the country you were born in, but it is happening. That's now a law enforcement official. It's also the person you just saw, an individual who brags about getting a master's degree from Georgetown University.
Also, the newest hire of this board to lead the disinformation governance board. I think that's what it's called. Here's a great meme from Grand Old Memes regarding what this lady's going to be doing. What you have to... Oh, this is so good. It really is. Big shout out once again to Grand Old Memes. Seems the people really like it. Nearly 8,000 likes and growing. And this is not one of those things that gets a ratio on it or anything like that. St. June says, so another failed actress hired as whatever. So true. But look at this. Let's take a closer look at this meme. So, of course, he made her skin yellow to match, the Simpsons vibe. 1984 Orwell is what she's reading. Can't forget the Disinfo Gov board. And then, what is that? Oh, that's Matt groaning, okay. And then 2 + 2 = 5. 2 + 2 = 5. 2 + 2 = 5. 2 + 2 = 5. That's what poor Bart Simpson is having to draw. Just to maintain his ability to tweet. He will not be able to tweet or geet or gab anymore if he does not acknowledge that 2 + 2 = 5. Up is down, left is right, freedom is slavery, and starvation is obesity. Of course, these are his only options. Now, when asked about the Disinfo board and the specific thing that Nina said was fake and was just Russian disinformation, Jen Psaki had absolutely nothing to say. Legitimately. Let's hear it. Let me turn it down a little.
She had previously called the Hunter Biden laptop a Trump campaign product, seeming to discredit its validity or validity of reporting surrounding that. How can you assuage concerns of people who are looking at this person who's been appointed to this position and wondering if she's going to be able to accurately judge misinformation now that a lot of that reporting has been proven to be factual in some ways?
Well, I don't have any comments on the laptop, but what I can tell you is that it sounds like the objective of the board is to prevent disinformation and misinformation from traveling around the country in a range of communities. I'm not sure who opposes that effort.
I can give you a list of people who sign their names on some very important sheets of paper that might disagree with what you just said, Jen Psaki. And I can also say pretty much everybody watching this show, more than likely most of the people even in your city of Washington, D.C., although that's not saying that much because the people in D.C. might not be so far against it anymore after what has happened recently, but also hundreds of millions of Americans worldwide, not just those that are in other countries that are, natural born Americans that are just observing what's happening in America at this point because they've already given up for the country or they have to live somewhere else, that could say, if this happens, I don't even think I want to come back. As she said it, forbid the spreading of disinformation.
But what I can tell you is that it sounds like the objective of the board is to prevent disinformation and misinformation from traveling around the country in a range of communities.
Oh, man. Oh, it can't get worse. It legitimately cannot get worse than this. It literally cannot get worse than this. Than the press secretary, which is a position that was created for the express purpose of transparency with the American people through the medium of the journalistic press, which, that first word, sometimes they're barely even that. But the point is, people are supposed to be listening. This is a mouthpiece for the administration, a mouthpiece for the White House, a mouthpiece for the president, and for this president after...
Rub my leg down. And you ain't black.
After all the things he said...
Go, you know the thing.
We need more than ever. And she's talking about restricting the ability of press organizations, other not even press organizations, but just political organizations, people in general, from saying what they believe, and you're expecting us to be okay with that? You're expecting nobody to oppose that? Really shows you where this administration stands, and it's a scary thought through and through. A 100% scary thought to imagine that nobody is supposed to be against this. Let's check this poll. Jeffrey Miller says, do you oppose a new cadre of government bureaucrats being able to define disinformation and misinformation however they want, and then using their powers to censor anything they define in that way? Yes. Yes, I oppose that. Nearly, just over 5,000 votes, 93% oppose that. 0.6% are like, meh, whatever, probably because they didn't understand the poll. And then, no, I support that. 1.4%. I gotta know who's that 1 point. That's like, what, 500 or so people? I think even less than that, honestly. Very few people. I think that's like 50. I don't know. I don't do percentages all that well, but it's a small amount of people that are supportive of that. They've got to be trolls. They've got to be trolls. I don't know who that could be. I legitimately don't know who that could be. That could seriously be on board with that. But there's a lot of people, and there's some founding fathers and some 1776 people that I can tell you will get out there and say, nah, we're not on board with this. We truly are not on board with this, including Jim Jordan. He's definitely not on board with this. And at that hearing that Mayorkas uncovered this disinformation board for the American people and everybody to see, Mr. Jordan had quite a bit to say about it. Quite a bit to say. Kenny says, anytime in history, if you are the group of people controlling the flow of information, you're usually on the wrong side of it. Very true. Very, very true. These people woke up on the very wrong side of the pillow. The very wrong side of the pillow. If you guys get what I'm putting down. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's check this out, though. Let's see what Mr. Jordan had to say about all this. Because this is scary. It really is.
Mr. Secretary, yesterday you announced the formation of Disinformation Governance Board at DHS. You put out a bulletin 2 months ago, big fancy bulletin here, red, white, and blue. You said that misleading narratives, dis and malinformation, MDM as you call it, misleading narratives undermine the trust in government. I was just wondering, when the head of the CDC, Ms. Walensky, said that the vaccinated can't get the virus, did that undermine trust in government? When the highest paid official in our government, the smartest man on the planet, Dr. Fauci, when he said the virus didn't come from a lab, did that undermine trust in government? And will that be something that this governing board will look at? How about this one? How about when 51 former intel officials told us that the Hunter Biden story had all the earmarks of Russian misinformation? Will that be something that this governance board that you just formed, will you be looking into that?
Will the governance board be looking into that?
Nope.
Congressman, the Disinformation Board addresses disinformation that imperils the safety and security of our homeland. And one of the primary areas that we are focused on is the dissemination of disinformation and its potential connectivity.
But that's not what your bulletin talked about.
The gentleman's time.
It talked about COVID.
The gentleman's time has expired. I am permitting the witness to answer the question. The gentleman can say nothing now.
Not this guy.
Witnesses
Let me know when.
privileged to answer the gentleman's question.
Yeah.
I hate this guy. I hate Nadler. He is the most annoying guy. Remember that time when Candace Owens was testifying and Candace Owens was talking about something, and then this guy was like, "You will not refer to the man as stupid," and she was like, "I didn't. Did you hear what I said?" He was just like, he just had to give up. He had to give up because you know what? She's right. This is a dangerous precedent that we're setting, and Jim Jordan and those that like him are the only ones that are actually able to stand up and say something about it. Can't wait for Nadler to hand over the gavel to Jordan in January. Please let that happen. Oh my gosh. And if, you know, you guys are right in the comments. Kenny is like, bro, with the clips, yes, Jim Jordan popping off. Agarcon says, Democrats are full idiots. St. June says, Mayorkas. Kenny says, I want to punch the chairman square in the face. Jeez. Agarcon says, Mayorkas should have enough time to come up with an answer. He did. He was sitting there just taking all them clips. Oh, just taking it.
Governance board that you just formed, will you be looking into that?
Nope.
Congressman.
Stop the cap.
We know he's not going to be looking into that. And I think after that, Mayorkas is going to want to take a great long nap. He really is. But before he takes a great long nap, he's going to be haunted by the images and sounds of the Disinformation Board's new leader, the chief law enforcement officer in the Ministry of Truth, singing about, well, some things. And I'm going to ride this out with this before we head to our next break.
Famous or powerful, Barbara Streisand has it all, and I can do what she can do. So why is she rich, famous, and powerful, while I'm still stuck here singing Christmas songs for all of you? What does it take to be famous and powerful? Santa, if you're listening, please tell me what to do. Who do I fuck to be famous and powerful? I've done everything I can, and now the rest is up to you. I tried being good, I tried being nice, I even tried pretending I was listening once or twice. But the really big stars, they made it without it. Was Betty Davis pleasant? Well, I seriously doubt it, but she was rich. Everyone adored her and the world was at her feet, but she was a bitch. It's true. It's obvious that I have gotten nowhere being sweet.
Nowhere being sweet. I'll let you comb through the lyrics of that mess yourself, because this is a family program and I will not be reacting to any of that. St. Juice's Ministry of Truth is actually the Ministry of Lies. Kenny says this lady is crazy, and Roxanne Shante says, man, I used to love Broadway, but this is annoying. And not only is it annoying, but it just makes me want to sleep it all away. And the best way to do that is from a few messages from our sponsor. Hey freethinkers, Chandler here, and man, covering the news of the day, reading your comments, and containing my laughter sure are tiring, right? I'm sure your day-to-day life leaves you just as, if not more tired than me. So why not elevate your night's sleep, all while supporting a great patriot? Of course, you knew it was coming. It was too good to pass up. MyPillow is your ultimate night's sleep. Pillows, blankets, sheets, mattresses, mattress toppers, pajamas, loungewear. As you can hear by me droning on in the background, the list of MyPillow products is long and varied, and sometimes, dare I say, ridiculous. But it all goes towards an amazing cause, all the while giving you the best night's sleep in the whole wide world. Mike Lindell is an amazing patriot and a man I've met a few times myself. I can tell you, he's just as real in person as he is online. He has an inspiring story of recovering from addiction and is a true warrior. You could tell just by how hard the media comes after him. The best way to stand by Mike Lindell, stand by the patriots who have been canceled, and to stand by your wife or husband who would love to wake up in the morning to a non-cranky mess, go to MyPillow.com and use code CRUMP, that is code CRUMP, for your very own discount today. Now, let's get back to the show. Whoa, man, I forgot I was on the show for a minute there. I just fell asleep on one of these very, very, very comfortable pillows that you can get your hands on at mypillow.com using code CRUMP. Rebecca says, the pillows are great. I have several. She also says, Lil Chandler transitioning to the commercials like a pro, the next Ben Shapiro. See what I did there? I can rhyme too. Now, you're not the only one that can do it, Nina, although I think I can do it a whole lot better than you can. Kenny says, I have 4 MyPillows. Okay, maybe you're not my target market, but anybody else that doesn't have a pillow yet, make sure you go to mypillow.com and use code CRUMP. But not only do they have pillows, as you heard a minute ago, they have mattress toppers, blankets, they have slippers. I still need to get my hands on some of those slippers. I could use some nice slippers at night. Feet get cold. Anyways, you can check that all out once again at mypillow.com using code CRUMP. Before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to my folks over on Getter. Shout out to Happy Camper, who's been holding it down over there. She sent a few messages, but she says, the laptop from hell, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. As I watched the hearing, I realized the people are being silenced. They drag out their answer to expire the time, and they are not funny anymore since we all woke up, which is so true. Kenny says slippers are my next cop. Yes, I'm going to be right there with you, Kenny. If you go to mypillow.com, use code CRUMP, and get yourself some slippers, I will get some slippers too. So do it not only for yourself, but do it for me, Kenny. Thank you guys so much for being tuned into today's episode of the Chandler Brief. As you guys heard, we will be changing our schedule once again. So the Chandler Brief, which is our show during the day at 3 p.m., will be on Mondays and Wednesdays at 3. And our Crump live shows will once again still be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8. So that means the next time you guys see me live will be next Monday at 3. So make sure you guys tune in once again to... There you go, St. Jeannie says, I miss using the I'm wearing the stupid mask. That was a classic one. Make sure you guys tune in next Monday at 3 for our grand return for the Chandler Brief after the weekend. I'm sure there will be even more news to discuss. You guys won't want to miss it. It's going to be a great show. Also, make sure you are subscribed to all of our different channels. So follow me over on Getter, subscribe to our Rumble, all that great stuff. Shout out to my folks over on Rumble. Nice to see all y'all. If you're in Rumble, make sure you smash that like button over there as well. It's just the little plus button here. I'll show you guys real quick. It's just the little plus button here. And also, before we go, I want to give a brief shout out to our Hall of Heroes members for the show. Once again, that is St. June, who was our month leader at 150. If anybody can beat that before the month is up, I'll tell you, it's going to be something crazy. I don't think it'll happen, but you guys can prove me wrong. In fact, I think this is our last show for the month, isn't it? Let me do a brief check real quick. Yeah, this is our last show for the month. So next time you guys see me, it will be May 2nd on Monday. So if anybody's gonna beat it, well, you'll reign all of May too. We'll just say that just to be fair. And also big thank you to Kenny as well, who is our other Hall of Hero member. Don't worry, your donation will carry over into next week for the Hall of Heroes as well. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being tuned in. Aside from all that, I'll catch you guys next Monday at 3. Don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence. Peace out and have a great weekend once I find the button to ring us out. Peace.
Into the light we go.